Need to deal with geoengineering. Geoengineering is the question of whether we are now at such a critical point in time that we need to engineer the climate of Earth with human intervention in order to avoid dangerous climate change. The assumption is that we have already, without actually meaning to, geoengineered the Earth's climate with our own behavior, and that therefore it may be necessary for us to intervene directly in some dramatic ways in trying to reverse global warming and climate change. There's a conference of world experts that started or was held here in September at Arizona State University by Slate Magazine, ASU, and the New American Foundation. And the event was called Geoengineering, the Horrifying Idea Whose Time Has Come, with a question mark. And it's very interesting because there is a lot of discussion about how we can manage solar radiation and how to do that. And there are all kinds of incredibly interesting and some very sort of dramatic suggestions that have been made to alter climate. Obviously, that would have a huge impact on coastal areas because of rising sea levels and global warming and so on. And David Keith, who is the director of the Institute for Sustainable Energy, Environment, and the Economy at the University of Calgary, says that 200 jets flying regular missions to release aerosols into the air could help counter the doubling of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere if they did this every year. He says, quote, "A tiny amount of money could have a tremendous impact on altering the world's climate." And the question is, do we want to do that? How do we do that? Should human beings intervene in the environment in fairly heavy footprint ways? Most of us are sort of alarmed by that. You know, it's kind of a scary idea. But I remind you that, for example, the problems of wetland destruction in places like the Gulf of Mexico, Louisiana in particular, you know, the incredible decline in wetlands and the alarming reduction in ecosystems for the largest seafood area in the United States, millions of jobs and an enormous amount of environmental impact. The wetlands are disappearing because human beings dug all kinds of canals for the oil industry and the gas industry, and therefore we have undermined the viability of the marshes. So the discussion this week on Louisiana that I saw was, should we have a major and heavily financed initiative to restore the marshlands along the Gulf of Mexico? And guess what? That's geoengineering. We're going to go in and reverse the negative effects of human engineering of the Gulf that have caused all these problems. So the question is, why shouldn't we go in and re-engineer with a big footprint and a lot of money and put things back the way they were? Just thought I'd share that with you as kind of food for thought. So I hope you have a good discussion on. Thanks. See you on the web.